definitely want to learn like that. So I'm probably gonna watch another video on that. Um, yeah, it was really cool. Now I don't even have to show my face. I can just be my avatar and not be that. So yeah, Canva's about to go up. All right, ladies. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Um, where we can click on this. Is there any way to full size it? Okay. I don't want to full size too much. Did I full size it? I don't know. No. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are on another episode of the Valon, and I do have a very, 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 very special guest with me here today. And of course, it is my mom, the beautiful Toyin. She has volunteered willingly to do this interview with us. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the questions in just a moment here. So, Mom, please take it away.
Hi, everybody. So nice to be here. This is a new platform, so I'm pretty excited. You know, I was asked at the last minute. I wasn't the first consideration, but I won't hold that against the host. I do love her.
Well, I appreciate you not holding it against me. Yes, of course, I know it was a little bit out of the blue, but I thought you would be like a great candidate for this next interview. And so we're going to ask you a couple questions here. Can you tell us like what you do right now? I know what you do right now, but our audience doesn't. So if you could tell us like what you're doing and where do you see yourself and how that's working for you so far, that would be great.
So right now I'm in education. I work with youth, and oftentimes their parents, but lately I have transitioned into the administration side of education. So it's a new avenue for me, and I'm enjoying it. And in the next couple of months, hopefully, to been working on a side project, sort of a side hustle, starting a business uh, with my husband. And, you know, hopefully I can come back and talk to our beautiful host about our product launch. So that's what's on the horizon for me right now.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful, and I can't wait. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but you are definitely going to be back on here, and we are definitely going to see more of you. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into the questions, and we're going to take it away here. So starting with number one, how did hair make you feel growing up?
Um, you know what? I'm gonna be you. Growing up, I always had long hair, so to be honest, I didn't put much thought into it until at a point where my mom decided to cut my hair. So I think at that point, that's when kind of became a thing for me. Well, not a thing, but uh, I didn't want my hair cut, and she cut it.
So can you explain like how you felt in that moment? If it, if it, of course, if it doesn't have like any vulnerability for you, I don't want to get on anything too touchy for you. But if you would like to share how did that like make you feel, and how does that feeling equate to what's going on now for you about your hair?
At the time, I was pretty sad actually, and cried about it. Um, but I was a kid. I was about maybe 10 or 11 at the time. Um, I think now I'm very. Uh, I don't like anybody touching my hair. I don't like anybody in my hair. And my daughter will tell you that no, I just don't let anyone touch my hair, and certainly not come near my hair with scissors.
I mean, unless it's a trim, right? When you do the trim, I think we can get some scissors in there, but other than that,
no, not willingly. Usually, I have to be threatened. And you can ask my hairdresser that. It's usually a threat, but sometimes I'll go ahead and be cooperative and go ahead and get a trim willingly.
right, and I can attest to that. It definitely took some time between me and your relationship to like build trust, because even now, when you or you had someone else braid your hair, and now I braid your hair, and like that process and that transition of you like trusting me, and me being able to do that was like such an honor, because it allowed us to like grow and develop our relationship, and it allowed you to kind of break some walls down of like that trust, and that betrayal, in a sense where it's just like, you cut away my identity, you cut away um my feeling and my personality that went along with my hair. And so when that happened, even for me, like I had to take time into like, yeah, you can trust me. It took me doing my sister's hair, and then finally, I don't know what changed your mind. Like, what changed your mind for you to like trust me to like braid your hair?
You know what? I'm always a proponent of great work. And I always give credit where credit's due. And if you're a professional about what you go about doing, and I can see the results of your work, and I think it's outstanding and fabulous, then, you may have me. Um, and my daughter is a fabulous braider. Um, and I've seen her work on her sibling. And I was like, okay, this is something I can get behind. And that was pretty much what kind of changed my mind.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know if you ever heard this from me, but I'm super proud of like being able to do your hair, and again, like for you to trust me, because that takes a lot. And I know for us in the Afro community, where it's like you don't have like a lot of, I would say, professionals in a sense now. A lot of times people are looking for a quick buck, but when you have that relationship, that trust, that something that you've built over the years with like people that you're working with, it allows you to have like a feeling like, okay, I can trust this person to even get my hair done. And I know like one time Richard wasn't available. Call him Richard, a lifelong friend of the family. Um, he wasn't available, and like I know Terry had to do your hair. How did you feel about that?
I'm sad and appreciative at the same time. You have to understand my relationship with Richard, and it goes back decades. And I'm what you call a loyalist. And if you're into marketing, you kind of know what that means. That's somebody that has found either a service or a product that they're in love with, and that as long as nothing doesn't change and the services and the products are still the same, that you're in love with and loyal to the product and services that you're receiving. So I've been with my hairdresser, I would say the late 80s, late 80s. So that'll tell you, and we're in 2022. So we started out as, hairdresser and client, but I consider him family. But um, he's a phenomenal hairdresser, and when you find somebody like that, or could it be a nail tech or business services, that favorite clothing shop or um, nail shop or masseuse or whatever it is that you love and appreciate and come to expect, then you're a loyalist, because you know what you're getting, you know what you're paying for, and the results are what you want at the end of the day. So when I look for services, I'm looking for what it is I can get behind, and I know that the service and the product is up to my standards, and that I can count on it each and every time.
And that's why I'm so bougie about who and what and how it's done for me. I know I'm meticulous about someone's work. Like I have to look at 1,000 videos before I can be like, okay, I'm gonna trust you to like get this done. Because there's been a couple of times I've given people chances and um, it hasn't turned out the way I wanted to. I know I went with a last check and I wanted to support her business, but you can give somebody an opportunity. That just means they're not fully developed yet. And that just takes time. But I'm not going to be an experiment. So, like, I had to find someone else. But it's okay. Like, it's trial and error, and you'll lose clients. But at the end of the day, it's all about you continue to like move forward and develop yourself, and so that way you can have those loyalists, because once they're loyal, like again, like my mom was saying, it's like it's family, and you take that into high consideration of like, okay, I'm gonna stick with this person because I know they've shown me like the results and whatnot. So um we're gonna hop into like the next main question. Mom, did you ever feel like any insecurities like about your hair growth and whatnot?
Um, yeah, in the beginning, but like I said, with the perspective, I was a kid, teenager, um, not knowing, the type of products that they had out there. Products were pretty limited back then. Um, and you got to realize that some of the products back then were not made for Afro descendant type hair or African American type hair. Our hair is coarse, coily, um, and a lot of times I grew up with, oh, you had to get a perm, or I know some of my aunts wore wigs, and they're not as sophisticated as they are now, but we as African American women, especially, you know, I think we do more harm than good to our hair. It's not that we're not capable of growing it, but I think some of the products and some of the methodology that we go about using is counterproductive for our type of hair.
So I know, like going back to, and that's a really great point that you have is like, we don't have like certain products in our community that will help us like grow our hair naturally. And for me, I know for me and my sisters, like you never told us to put like a perm on our hair, and you never put a perm on our hair. And that was because like you and Richard and you guys' experience with hair during that time. I know you told me like, okay, it's gonna grow. You just gotta take time. But if you don't mind, Mom, I know I used to ask you this as a kid. Like, how did you grow your hair so long, Mom? Can you give them like the recipe, the tea, the scoop on like what you did to like grow your hair as long as you have it like on your avatar? Because literally that's how long her hair is, y'all, for real. So can you give them the scoop, Mom?
So, I'm gonna be honest with you. There are maybe three main points I would say uh, on your hair long. Is this one? Uh, get a really great hairdresser. Somebody that really knows how to do hair, knows how to care for your type of hair. Two, genetics does play a part in it, even though people would like to say it doesn't, it does. And three, your diet is everything. Um, Diet, the type of nutrition you put in your body, because you have to realize your hair is a living organism. So if you put the right foods in and take, uh, supplements, I mean, if that's what you're into, and even if you're not, just allowing your hair to be able to grow in its natural state. Um, if you work out, put it in a protective hairstyle. I know, the rage right now is extensions, weaves, and wigs. Um, and if that's your thing, that's great. I don't have anything against anybody who utilizes those tools. But I think if you just allow your hair to be, and you put the right, like I said, tools in place, a good hairdresser, good products, and good nutrition, your hair will grow. It's really not a secret. It's just you have to have the right tools to allow it to. And you can't torment it. I see oftentimes people pull their hair super tight, or they're like I said, they maybe have the weaves and wigs on too long. Um, but you have to understand what the limits are, and move accordingly.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. I would say even for me in my experience, it took me a long time to get my hair like the length that I wanted it to, and I wanted it even longer, but I was I was tired, y'all. I was tired of my hair. And I wanted something different, and I talked about like cutting it for so long. And I know for me, I get my thickness from your side where my hair grows in like pretty full. And so when that happens, it does take a little time to like, okay, one, know my hair, and then two, what type of products to put in it, but also two, how to like maintain it once I do have it done. And that was a struggle for me because I sweat hard. And so once you switch your roots out, the hairstyle's done pretty much. So it's a little, I would say, for me on my end, but like some women do it and it works for them. I know my mom has done it and it works for her. It was for me. I just needed something different completely. So I just cut all my hair off, and that was pretty much it. So um, and I did so much experimenting with my hair too. Like I colored it pink. I had it like blonde. I grew out like my hair to a fro, and then I cut it off again. So it just all depends on like what makes you feel good, and like how it makes you feel. But also too, if you love it, you gotta love your hair just as much as you love being in the skin that you're in. It's vital, it's important, and what makes you confident, and what sets you apart and make you unique. So I love this side. I can go in the shower and just like clean my hair like nothing and come out, and it'll be perfectly fine. When I was younger, like I had to make sure I put a towel on it so I didn't like sweat it out. I had to like do things in PE where I wasn't running around as much, but now I get to do like all those things without like the worry or the insecurity of my hair. So, what styles did you like love back in the day when you were like experimenting with your hair, mom?
You know what? Like you said, I did, the cut, curler, color, all of that, and then some. Um, did the short hair, one side shaved off, you name it, I've done it. And then I just got to a point where I had to let my hair rest and just grow and flourish, and I did that. So I have the same issues. When I work out, I sweat extremely hard where everybody else would just glisten, and it was just like, what the hell? Before somebody dumped a bucket on my head. But you figure out ways and techniques to maintain yourself to where um, you maintain who you are, and it was a struggle, but I found a balance and a peace, and now when I need to put my hair in a protective style, it's in a protective style, and when it's not in that protective style, it's a basic um, press and curl, and it does fabulous with that. Get it done every 2 weeks, put the right products on it, and it's great. I like having long hair. Um, where you said right now, and you may change your mind somewhere in the future, but no, I understand at the point you're at. You're saying, hey, I just need to be free. And I could get with you on that.
For me, it felt like I was just cutting away like the past and cutting away like the expectation of, okay, my hair has to be like long and beautiful for me to be like seen or to be loved or um, to be a lot of the things that I thought hair came with. And when I finally cut it all off, like that's when I seen like the most love, and it was unexpected. I didn't expect for people to like show so much love and enthusiasm for me making that decision for myself. And in that moment, it was a moment of like self love. I remember the day I was walking up the street grinning because I had like chopped all my hair off, and I'm like, yo, I needed to like do this. I was grinning, so I was a treasure cat for sure. Like grinning so hard, but thankful at the same time that I was able to even do that. And a lot of women do that as like a religion where they cut their hair off to show respect and to show praise for um, the entity that they're worshiping. So it's different for every culture, and I think for African American women, we have to let go of the stigma that I have to have like long flowing hair to be like loved or appreciated or feel valued. But it doesn't matter what length that you have it at, as long as it's healthy. And I think a lot of times we get away from that aspect of like, I just want to have hair, but I don't know how to maintain it. I don't know how to take care of it. But this is what I want. This is what I desire. And a lot of times it's one, not a choice that you can control because I was just speaking with another young lady last week, Kayla White, where she can't grow her hair. She has alopecia. And so you have to stop and think about those things and be grateful for those things, but also understand that either way, Kayla White is love. Either way, Chyna LaBrue is love. And so I'm going to continue to be loved regardless if I grow it out long or if I have it cut like a buzz cut. So I had to understand that when it happened, I was allowed to like let that go and just be again, like you said, free to roam around and do whatever I want, and feel that confidence and that power instilled within me. And there's other people that didn't agree with me getting my hair cut. So, you get love and get hatred at the same time, but it's not really up to them. They're not living your life. It's a life that you're living and you have to be comfortable with. So, I didn't know if you want to make a comment on that, but I was going to jump right into the next question.
Sure, I'll make a comment. For me, it was never about, acceptance regarding my hair. For me, it was just about, I just wanted my head to feel good. It was very basic for me. I mean, for me, it was just like, take me as I am or you leave me as I am. I'm okay either way. I'm gonna keep on putting one foot in front of the other. Whatever issues you may have or may not have, those are your issues and you'll have to work through them. But that's nothing that I'm gonna take on myself. So I think a lot of times in the African American community, I know the context of acceptance is, your hair or, a lot of women do it because, it makes them feel good and that's great. But at the end of the day, if you don't practice self-love, it doesn't matter what your hair looks like. If you feel like crap on the inside, it's not really, your hair could be banging and you're still going to feel like crap. So I think we as women in general just need to take a little bit more time to just practice self-love and not lay everything on something that really at the end of the day doesn't matter. You're beautiful if you're bald-headed or you're beautiful if you got hair flowing down your back. It really doesn't matter as long as you love yourself and you allow God to love you as he created you.
Okay, that was a word. Love God as how he created you. I like that. I want to put that up on the wall actually. That was really cool and I appreciate that perspective. So we're gonna jump right into the last question here and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. What are you doing now to show love to your hair? I think you kind of already reiterated that before, but if you don't mind, just little last tidbits here, and then we're gonna go ahead and get it to an end.
No, just practicing self-love. My hair is my hair. It's just an extension of who I am. It doesn't make me who I am. I take care of it as I see fit. I do what I need to do regarding my hair, but that's just in the perspective of I like for my head to feel good, and that's just physical. When my hair is done and it's clean and it's ready to go, then that just makes my physical being feel better. But it doesn't go beyond that context. I don't tie my identity to my hair. I don't. Some people do. They don't feel right, and that's cool, and that's their journey. But I don't. I know a lot of times if you see my hair done, most times most people think it's either a weave or a wig, and I've had a lot of women like stop me and think that it's not my hair, but and that's just those misnomers that have gone on from generation to generation that Black women can't grow their hair, and that's just not true. You can. Like I said, it's diet, it's a good product line, a good hairdresser, but also at the end of the day, a good attitude. Just keeping things, the energy that you entertain, positive. Don't entertain anything that's negative. Just entertain those things that are positive, that are light, that bring good energy to your spirit. Be surprised what a difference it makes in that practice of self-love when you just entertain things that are positive and peel away the things that are negative. It makes a huge difference. So your hair is just an extension of you. It is not you. And you just have to learn how to practice self-love and allow, uh, God to love you as what you were created to be. And if you're walking in your purpose and figuring out who you are and what it is that you were designed to be in this world, you'll be just fine. I think a lot of times people make stuff way more complicated than what's needed. Just keep it simple.
You guys heard it here. Keep it simple. That is all you guys need. Well, you know what? I appreciate you, Mom, for coming on here and answering those questions. That was really beautiful. And we hope to see you back here soon. I do want to make this into like a group panel where other women can come and voice um, their concerns or insecurities, or just even a venting section of like how they felt about their hair, and anything else in between. But I just want to thank you so much for coming on here. And if you want to, you can let the audience know your Instagram and they can follow you there. I know you mentioned your business, so they're definitely going to want to see what you have in store. So if you don't mind sharing your Instagram, that would be great. But yeah, we're going to have you back on here soon. So I'm going to let you take it away one more time, and then we're going to be out of here.
So I'm not going to share my Instagram just yet with you guys, but I tell you what, I definitely appreciate and love this opportunity, and I love the host. And this was a new platform for me, so I appreciate the introduction. But I will definitely be back, and if I have any parting words for anybody, just practice self love, and not only show yourself some grace, but extend that grace to somebody else. Because the energy that you give out is the energy that you get back.
That was awesome, guys. Again, Mom, thank you so much for joining us, and she will be back very soon. You guys take care. Good night. Hey everyone, welcome. thank you so much for joining in tonight. Unfortunately, she couldn't be available afterwards. She had some business that she had to handle. But if you have any questions for her, I'm pretty sure I can answer them just because I'm the closest one to her. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about it, or certain sections made you feel a way, or it struck like a chord with you, please feel free to unmute yourself. um I would love to like hear more and whatnot. And express like your vulnerabilities with hair, and what was like the stigmas or stereotypes growing up involving hair. Right. Me too. And that was even like for my mom, going back to that. Um, she was she doesn't really um how can I she keeps to herself. And I'm pretty sure you know that about a Scorpio, since your husband is Scorpio. Um, we keep stuff to ourselves, and we don't really like express like vulnerability except for the people that are closest with us. So like really for her getting on here was like um her pushing past like that limit of like security, and facing up to like, yeah, I feel comfortable talking about this, and yes, this is what happened to me. And for me, I was just like, I appreciate you even coming on here and expressing yourself, because that takes a lot. And I know from like the last interview with Kayla, where, she cried on the interview, and that touched me in a way that no other person has. It's just like you get to understand, you get to empathize with their struggle of like, these scars happened to me, but I'm still here, I'm still kicking, I'm still breathing. And I want to share that vulnerability with the world to help like some other little girl or young man that is going through hair struggles or trying to figure out how to now navigate this new world. Because like you said, back in the day, I think I tried to wear a fro out one time in college, and my roommate was like, I don't think that looks right. And I'm like, how the hell are you going to tell me what looks right and what looks wrong? But I listened to her, and, it's not something that I regret, but it's something that I didn't have the confidence for. And now I do. Now I can cut my hair. Now I can like do different things with my hair and not feel like any type of way, because I know this is me, this is who I am, and this is what I'm representing at this time. So yeah, that was really cool that she came on here. But yeah, we all have experiences with hair, and sometimes there are a lot deeper scars in there about hair that we just don't discuss. And I feel like the Valon is like a safe space for you to come and discuss like what it is that you have gone through, share that, and then, expose it to the world, and be able to have them decipher, okay, this happened to me too, and this happened to me too, and have like a kumbaya of like, we're all in this together. So yeah, like, um, and we don't have enough representation of, women of color wearing fros, women of color wearing their natural hair, women of color like wearing locks. Now it's a fad, because it's just like we want to push that to, underlining extents, and we're not going to get into that because that's a move all in itself. It's an agenda as well. But now we're pushing that, and something that wasn't before. So, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. It's not just like surface, but it's political, it's strategic, um, it's manipulative, and it is. I hope for like one day to talk about like, okay, these products that they're putting in lower income neighborhoods, and how these products are like poisoning our heads, and how like the products, when they get soaked into your skin and your scalp, how it's basically like a disease, is poisoning your brain, is poisoning your nervous system. So that's a whole different that's a whole different spice right there. But it happens going on. So, if you take a look at some of the products that you're buying, shampoo, conditioner, like you'll see how many chemicals are really like in the products, and you're like, whoa, like this is why. And look, I'm not even about to get into it. We're gonna save this for another time. But yeah, like they'll do stuff like that. And when I say they, what I'm talking about. So um, yeah, does anybody else have like any comments, or how this touched you at all, or what are you doing now to like show self love to your hair? Before anybody respond, yeah, Mo, hey, I was about to turn up. I seen I seen a Kanye West interview, and I was like, oh man, like that fire, he just lit that fire. I'm not even gonna speak on it, but um yeah, that spiciness done transfer. So I'm like, yeah, we gotta have to talk that rah rah, that talk. So all right, girl. You said la 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 la. I started dying. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, yeah, you have to. And the thing about it was like he was interrupting him, and he didn't let him like finish. 'Cause my man, he stopped and thought. He's like, you interrupted my thought. Now I can't even say what I was trying to say, and he didn't really want him to say what he wanted to say. So anyway, do you guys have any closing like remarks or anything like that? Um, anything you guys want me to touch upon? Next week, I'm having like some lineups coming in, like some heavy hitters. I'm gonna check back in with her, but she was my vendor. So if you got any questions about vendors, I'm gonna have that in here, and I may be selling a list of vendors. So if you know somebody getting into the hair game, and they're looking at vendors or struggling with that, uh, yeah, we gonna do that next week. Yeah, for sure. Have a vendors list in here and talk about some of the vendors that I'm working with and or worked with, and how someone can get into the hair game and not go through that hours long like research trying to find vendors to start their hair business. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your time. All right, y'all. We're going to be back here every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so don't miss it. Make sure you check in with your notifications so that way you can always be aware of what we drop in here each and every week. Not only the Valon, but the whole schedule, the whole raw down. So tap in.